We're so excited that this day finally came to be. I know there was a lot of points where it seemed like it was never going to happen, but we pushed through and just took the punches as they came. We really appreciate every single one of you being here, and we love every single one of you and couldn't imagine, our lives without any of you guys. So I just want to toast you guys, and let's eat.
Hello, everybody. I'm John Gibbs. For those of you who weren't paying attention earlier, I was the crybaby walking down the middle, holding my daughter's arm. No, we're so thrilled you guys are here. It's been a hell of a year.
Take a deep breath. That's what I'm here for. Take a deep breath.
No, on behalf of the Gibbs family, I wanted to welcome you guys, our friends and family here. My wife Lisa, Jack, and Liz, wherever they're at. Our daughter Bailey, the maid of honor. We're just so, and my parents, who you guys got to see during the service. So they married us, Lisa and I, Mark and Janice, Jack and Liz, Hannah and Sarah. So far, most of the grandkids, got some more coming up soon. So it's been a hell of a year, guys, right? I mean, who plans a wedding during a global pandemic? Annie Gray and Richard. And it's because they said they wanted to get married. They don't want to postpone.
Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath.
So it's been great. So I'll start out by first telling a little story about Annie Gray. When she was about 9 or 10 years old, we signed her up for art lessons, for painting. And she comes home with this unbelievable painting. I mean, she's like 9 or 10 years old, and I'm not talking about like stick figures on your refrigerator. It's like a river birch with like shading and light coming in. And we said, that's unbelievable. And she said, I'm pretty good at everything I do. And we were like, that's true. And that actually happened throughout her life. She's pretty good at everything. Through elementary school in her art, and high school she was an all-conference lacrosse player, and woohoo, good night Hawks. Yeah, she was the homecoming queen and the student body vice president, and she's very good at everything she's ever done. I'm so proud of her. But what she's really good at is picking a husband. We love her. We love Richard. Don't pay attention to this part, Richard. He's such a great guy. I've never met anybody that doesn't love Richard Holt. And if I did, I wouldn't like them because they're not a good judge of character. He's such a good dude, right? And I'll tell you a story that happened a couple of weeks ago that made me realize, this has been hell planning all this, as you guys can imagine. It went from 160 people to 75 to 50, which makes all you guys our starters. If this was a football team, you're our starters. But we were out to lunch together, and it was like during just intense planning and stuff. And I looked at Richard and I said, well, what do you want to do? And he said, I'm gonna wait till she takes a nap and eats something before I ask her. And I said, that's a guy that actually gets my daughter. He waited for her to eat, and so it was perfect. Another funny story about the two of them, this is going back a couple of years ago when they first started dating.
That's like 6 years ago.
6 years ago. They were up here in Boone at our cabin. We're out on the back porch, and I've told Richard this story. But they were out on the back porch, and I could see them out through the screen porch door. They were kind of going at it a little bit, just kind of snapping at each other.
Which is rare.
Which is very rare. And I went out there, and when I first came out on the porch, Andy Gray just kind of walked away, and Richard was still standing there. And so I'm out there grilling, going, okay. And so I looked over at Richard and I said, she was kind of. So I looked over at Richard and I said, well, she was kind of giving it to you, wasn't she? And he's like, she's a handful sometimes. And I said, you don't think I know that? So that's the perfect example of why these guys should be together. There's nobody else that should be together except the two of them. So, love you guys. Cheers. Cheers.
No, it's funny because I went to Jack and Liz's wedding and I swore I would never follow John Gibbs in a speech, but I'm going to do my best tonight. But no, what can you say about my brother? I've been thinking for weeks. People keep asking me what I'm going to say during my speech. And I thought I was just going to shoot from the hip, kind of wing it. And today we went hiking and we went to a swimming hole. And we were sitting there hanging out. And this family walked up with two little boys. And I thought to myself, shit. Their parents let them jump in the creek, and I remember my dad let me and him do the same thing, and I thought to myself, there's no greater gift that I've ever received than being able to grow up with that dude right there. I thought I'd get through this pretty easy, but apparently not. I think it's evident everybody here tonight knows what kind of person Richard is. We'd have these crazy house parties back in college. I know we never told you, Mom, but we did. But we'd have these parties and me, Andrew, and everybody else would be inside hanging out. Whatever, and you'd find Richard out by the campfire just talking to whoever he would want to talk to him. So, but that's the kind of person he is. He cares. People are drawn to Richard because when you talk to him, you get that from him. He cares about what you want to say. And he's the best damn person I've ever met in my life. And so with all that being said, whoever he ended up with had to be someone special. And I'll be doggone if he didn't find Andy Gray. And what's funny is, classic Richard form, I remember the first time I met Andy Gray, it was in Carroll Tower, which is where I lived. Yeah, Carroll. And it was in Carroll, and I'd gone over. Richard just moved in, and Jenna was better friends with Richard at the time, and Andy Gray just happened to be her roommate. So he was like, "Hey, come over, hang out. We'll go over to meet some of my friends I met on my floor." So we walk over to Jenna and Andy Gray's room. And I walk in, and Richard's like, "Hey, this is Jenna, and this is Andy Gray." And Andy Gray was doing work. I said, "Hey, I'm Harrison." And Andy Gray said, "Hey, I'm Andy Gray," and just went right back to work. And we walked right back out of the room. That was the first time I met Andy Gray. And then later, Richard, he had taken, I think it was Jenna and Andy Gray and Logan to Bojangles. And he said, "Hey, I kind of like this girl." This is typical Richard. He said, "Hey, I kind of like this girl I went to Bojangles with. I think I'm going to ask her out." And lo and behold, here she is. And I couldn't love that girl right there any more than my own brother. And it's funny because what set Annie Gray apart from all the rest of the girls that Richard dated was that she'd call me on the stupid shit I would always do. She would give me a look and just say, Harrison. And that was it. I knew I was in trouble. But no, I couldn't say any more about y'all. And I've just come to love Annie Gray and the Gibbs family. And the past couple years that we've gotten to know each other, it's been the best years of my life. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I knew I really loved Annie Gray because despite all popular belief among the Gibbs household, she knew which school had the best football program in the great state of North Carolina. I told you I had jokes about it, John. But no, seriously, y'all, getting to know the Gibbs family and just being a part of y'all's lives has been, I just look forward to so many more memories to come, It's just, I couldn't ask more from a sister and a future family, and from the bottom of my heart, I love you guys to death. And I just want to get ready to rumble, and I want to cheers to my two favorite freaking people in the world. Cheers. Thank y'all.